Monday morning, we're in Wavertree, Liverpool, and we are back at Rathbone Road, our 3-bed mid-terrace, which is this morning getting carpets, which is a lovely feeling because at this point you know the job's complete and this is the last step in the whole process of renovation. The carpet guys have just arrived, you probably hear them stomping around. They've walked in here this morning, made a nice comment about how clean and tidy the site is.
You don't need the key back today, do you?
No, I don't need the key back today, I'll grab it tomorrow, that's great.
Yeah, oh, sorry.
Now, what were you just saying about the carpet, about the place being so nice and tidy?
Yeah, being so clean.
Yeah, it just helps, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, thanks very much. So those guys are going to take a key off us now. We're going to go for a quick walk around to show you what the place is like before carpets, and then with that, then we'll pop back later and show you what it looks with clean carpets and everything nice and finished. And then the last step then is just get the place cleaned and we're ready to mark it with photos. This is an 11mm underlay, so generally landlords will go for the cheapest possible contract carpet, cheapest underlay. They just really give carpets the least thought out of the whole process. This is a nice thick underlay. When you step on this, when you take your shoes off on your first viewing, you're going to feel like you're walking on a really good quality floor. And we've got a nice carpet to go with this as well. We always go for like a mid-grey. It just seems to be that little bit more durable. Short pile with a white fleck in it. This will be nice and robust in the long term and generally will be easy to maintain for tenants and landlords alike. We're going to go now from here to our next appointment, which is down to our Mather Avenue development in South Liverpool, where we've got site investigation surveys underway this morning. One thing I will just say about this project before we get up and go is that the landlord on this one has not specified any of the specification of this property whatsoever. We are in the fortunate position to be chucked a set of keys almost and told just to crack on. So everything you see here we've brought to the table. So all the design, all the colour schemes, all the carpet choices, the bathroom, the kitchen, they're all our own specification. The landlord is very, very open to letting us just get on with the job, and that makes life really easy in terms of delivering a nice quality product. Okay, carpets are unloaded. We are going now to our next site. Right, we're over at our development. We've got the guys over this morning doing some dynamic sampling of the ground. So what the plan is they're going to drill some inspection holes in the ground and then use this machine, which is like a dart machine, which will give samples and let us understand the depth of the ground before we hit rock. This is part of our structural engineering side of the development, part of the planning before we start building, just to understand what is underneath the ground here. So far we've had a couple of holes done around the back and they've come back at rock roughly about 1.8 metres, which is very good news for us. Perfect scenario for building on, so really happy with that. I'm going to leave the guys now to show us exactly what they're doing. So we've gone from grass to soil, 2 types of soil, through sand, through clay, to stone, and that's 1.8 metres.
Down to about, so we went down to 2 metres completely, but the stone starts at 1.8.
And then we stopped drilling at that point.
So and they did another SPT at the 2 metre mark, and then that's when it refused.
Okay.
We can't really drill any further because it's too hard. Makes sense for the being rock and that.
Yep, and then samples are taken, they'll go away to see what's in the soil or the clay, to see if there's any arsenic or any other hazardous substances.
The stuff here, this is the the environmental.
Your cool box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then these are then for the geotech. So we take 1 tub basically, so it's about a kilogram.
Yep. So a kilo that goes off to the lab.
Yeah. They'll go do all their magic. Yeah.
And they'll see what's in it. Come back to you.
Yeah.
And tell you if we're good to go or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll see about foundations and that kind of thing.
And see what we need for foundations. And then structural engineers presumably can spec the foundation that we need.
Yeah.
But so far so good. That's nice. That's a nice result on that one, isn't it?
I think as far as I'm aware, yeah. So,
Yep.
you know.
Okay, so that one's another one.
Yeah.
And what was the depth on that?
That was so down to 2 meters again.
So we went to 2 meters on that.
Yeah.
So it's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's pretty uniform, to be honest.
So we're actually coming out that far in terms of we're coming out to about here,
Yeah.
roughly.
We don't want to go any sort of further that way, just in case.
You hit surfaces. So I don't know if you find that interesting or not, but I certainly do. Obviously, I learn something new every single day in property. That's what's so good about what I do. But understanding the science behind the build is interesting. Knowing that we're going to take samples of soil, it's going to go to a lab. They're going to find out what's in it, see if there's any harmful substances in it that could potentially come up and bite us at build stage. It's unlikely, being in this residential area, that we'll find any contamination, but you never know. So those are the steps that we're going to take just to make sure that the site is safe to build on, it's safe for the people working on it and the future users as well. But yeah, an interesting start today as we have a little tour of this particular site. The building drains out this way and then comes into this manhole here. This then goes across through the corner of our garden and out onto the main road where it joins the main street. When we surveyed this drain, we found that there was some slight root intrusion. It's not uncommon for roots from trees to grow into drains, but what we need to ascertain is this drain sufficient to take the drainage of 10 apartments in this building? We think it is. There's no collapse element of the drain. Everything seems fine, but there are some roots growing into it, and we need to now send our findings from our report to United Utilities to work out whether or not the drain is on our land or if it's on their land. If it's on our land, it's our responsibility to deal with those roots and most likely reline the drain through a special process. If it's on the street, then it will fall under United Utilities and they'll be responsible for that drain and they'll do that work instead. Can I ask you something? Do you know the way you've done the thicker sample with the thicker pipe? Have you done the thinner pipe because that's deeper and more dense and more difficult to whack out?
I just thought I'd reduce the barrel. Maybe I can get a little bit deeper by putting a smaller diameter down.
And then we've got like that out of it then. So we hit rock at that point.
You hit rock at that point. Even if I've got a littler barrel than that, even if I went down with that, you wouldn't really get.
So the depth of that then, what are we looking at depth-wise? You've just gone down to?
Bang on 2 meters that with a barrel. So then I put an SPT on at 2 meters.
Yep.
Which would take it to 245.
Okay. Just deep
like
enough.
I say, like I say, you're not going to get better than that though.
So you got lucky with the other holes, I suppose, being on grass.
On grass, yeah.
So this is the only one on concrete so far.
So far.
And then we've got this one here, which will be a nightmare, won't it?
Yeah. The last hole is always a nightmare.
Yeah.
I don't know why it is. It's just we always have troubles on the last hole.
So how did you get into this then?
Just through, I know him really through my brother. My brother's similar age to my boss, like, and I used to work for the council. I used to be a bin man like for 5 years.
Okay.
I just had enough of it really. I come out of work from the council, and my brother said like, Paddy, my boss now, he's looking for a labourer like, so I went working with him, did 6 months there. He put me through for my MVQ for my drilling, so yeah, here I am now. I'm out on my own lead drilling now. Yeah. You
certainly make it look easy, mate. Done a few holes.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I say, you can get, today's not too bad really. They was all going to depth. Luckily we're hitting the the sandstone.
So what sort of depths can you sometimes go down to when you're drilling?
Well, about 10 metres,
10 metres?
15 metres.
And that machine can reach that?
Yeah.
It's got all the bits on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, of course, definitely. Obviously, extra rods, we normally only carry 6 metres worth.
Yep.
But if I'm going to a job and obviously I'm going to 10, 15, then I'll go and get some more gear from the unit. Like.
So do you find the clients shaking their heads when they're seeing 15 metres? That's a lot of backfilling.
Yeah.
It's a lot of backfilling, that, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Unless you're having a sandpipe in.
Yep.
And then obviously you just bag all the spoil up and rather if they gain a skip on site, you just offload it all in there or take it back with you.
Well, subject to the contamination report, I think we're happy today, aren't we?
Definitely.
We've got a nice even keel so far all the way around the building, 2 metres, isn't it?
Yes.
It's really good news. You don't mind a little win like that, do you?
Consistent.
Consistent. So we're going to do one more hole and that'll do us for today. But so far we're hitting nice virgin clay, just about 2 metres down, which is great for foundations, and that's a good result so far. Okay, wrapping up here in South Liverpool, we're going to give the carpet fitters a bit of chance to fit off the house out as well. But in the meantime, just a quick update on what's been going on internally. I've been selling more ink. Okay, so I've sold another cartridge here, £70 on eBay, but I found another, so I'm going to try and get that sold as well today to the same person. We've had a damp and timber survey done on the internal as well, which was also requested from structural engineers. Place is riddled with damp on the ground floor, but the basement completely bone dry. It's usually the other way around, isn't it? So that's us. We're going to head off back to Property Addicts HQ and show Frank some of the videos of today's work. Pretty much sums up what he's asked for Christmas, to be honest with you, so we'll enjoy watching that. I can't wait to show him the videos. We're back at Wavertree at our house, ready for inspection and hand over to Lee, our letters coordinator. So carpets are now laid. Let's go and have a look at the property, because it's going to be Lee's responsibility now to get the property let.
Oh yeah, you see a big change in the kitchen. Like, last time I was in here, we could really smell the damp. I remember particularly that wall was full of damp, and that wall was full of damp underneath the sink.
The kitchen was just completely beyond, wasn't it? You couldn't do anything with the kitchen because it was just rotten, wasn't it?
Nice new cupboards, nice colour.
Should we go upstairs?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like the carpets, nice and bouncy, aren't they? Oh yeah, this is even better. I remember seeing this last, it had an electric shower. This is a mixer shower, and it benefits from a double-headed shower as well. So we just have a little look around here. A double-headed shower, nice big. And also the tiles on the wall. It looked like they tiled on the tile, so we had like 3 layers of tile on here. Into the front room. Okay.
The ceiling was falling down, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It must have been, well, there was a big crack, wasn't it, up there?
Yeah.
They did lattice and hearth as well, so that looks nice.
We said that we wanted to make this property an asset again for our landlord and his portfolio. In the last 12 weeks since we started works, this property value has risen by £40,000. That's with an £18,000 refurb, and the rental value has gone up £250 a month, which is a fantastic return, resulting in about £3,500 extra income for the landlord per year, which is why we're in property. In your opinion, Lee, property like this on the market, how long do you think it will take us to let out?
I anticipate having a young family in here probably before Christmas.
Okay.
So maybe 3 to 4 weeks.
That's what you want, isn't it? You want to be able to try and get someone in before Christmas, get the Christmas tree up. Similar to what we did down in Waterloo last year, wasn't it? We got the family in before Christmas, and you went to school with the guy, didn't you? That was really coincidental, wasn't it?
Actually, that's right,
They were really keen to be in before Christmas, get the place decorated and warm into the house. So yeah, I'm really happy with this one. It's a really nice result. You see it all the time on social media. Someone's got a great deal and they're looking for a joint venture partner to come in and fund the deal and take half the profit. Let's get into Married at First Sight, the difference between a joint venture and a loan agreement. So I've got a question for you. Would you marry someone after the first date? And would you marry someone after the first date and start a family with them? Maybe have a kid, maybe have a couple of kids, maybe more? Generally the answer to that question is no. In Married at First Sight, I want to talk to you about the serious nature of joint ventures, jumping in with people you don't really know, who may not share your values, your goals and your visions. So if a joint venture is a marriage, then a loan agreement, private peer-to-peer lending, I like to call that dating. Because with dating, if it doesn't work out, you can always repay the loan and break it off. However, when you set up a limited company with somebody, and now you've got HMRC and other obligations, you're much, much further into a business relationship with somebody. And if that goes south, it can be quite painful for all parties involved. We consider it much simpler to simply date our investors. Borrowing money privately is the fastest way to grow your portfolio. You don't need to have aligned goals particularly. Let the investor place funds with you, you get on with the job, get the money repaid, and then at some point in the future, if you've got a really, really strong relationship with them, maybe then consider a joint venture. And what considerations would an investor wish to make before investing with you as well? Well, are you ethical? Are you responsible? Do you communicate, whether it's good news or bad news? Do you pay the loan back on time? Or do you just go to ground when problems arise? These are all things that you should really, really be considering if you're potentially getting into a joint venture agreement with somebody as well. We recently met up with one of our investors who placed a fairly large sum of money with us, and we had dinner with the family, which was lovely. During that dinner, the investor asked us, would you ever consider any partnerships? And we always say, we would never get into any sort of partnership with somebody before we'd actually done a loan, because that simply gives us that time to work each other out, figure out what each person's about, and understand what their objectives are, and whether or not they're actually aligning with our objectives. Because if they're just looking to do one property, then that's fine, but we may be looking to do multiple properties. Are they looking to make large sums of cash from property and then make another large sum of cash from property, or are they looking for cash flow? What are they actually looking for, and what are they about? If those goals don't align and the visions don't align, and if your communication skills don't align, that can be a disaster in a joint venture partnership. So I always recommend staying clear of joint venture until you can really say that that person will be almost like family to you, almost like somebody you could go on holiday with, you take your family away with for a week a year. They'd come to you over Christmas and be part of your family. That's how close you need to be before you do a joint venture with somebody. In the last 7 years, Pip and I have borrowed a good few million off people who we know, like and trust, people who are either family or people who we've met through property courses and have that sort of relationship with. So knowing people and getting to know them is a huge part of property investing, and borrowing funds is all about relationship. Do people know you, like you, trust you, believe in what you're doing? You might not think it's a large sum of money, but it might be someone's life savings that they're departing with you and trusting you with to do a good job with and pay them back on time. So in short, a joint venture is about sharing risk. It's about collaboration. It's about profits and potential losses, whereas a loan agreement is about one person lending money to another person and that person repaying them with interest. Think carefully before you enter into a joint venture agreement and make sure that you get to know people really well before you do. I hope this episode will serve as a great resource for you to engage investors in a professional and effective way without rushing into joint venture agreements which may not be right for you. Hope you found that content interesting. Tune into episode 4 as Pippa takes you through our largest development to date, the Cross Keys Hotel.